What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Real quick, I want to touch on this Saints story. Jeff Duncan wrote about it, but it's a bit of a position battle growing for the New Orleans Saints right now, and it's at the kicking position, right? Wil Lutz versus the cherubic Blake Grupe. And it's a tough nut to crack because Wil Lutz inarguably struggled last year. In fact, was in the bottom third of kickers in the NFL. At the same time, we have seen Wil Lutz, be in the top 5 kickers in the NFL. We've seen him hit ridiculously long game winners multiple times. He has nearly unparalleled strength. Remember, he only ended up in New Orleans because he had to go up against Justin Tucker, and then Harbaugh calls Peyton's like, I got this kid who's kind of a beast. He ends up down here. He wins the job. You end up paying that man. Now he struggled. And maybe that's where the door opens for Grupe a bit. He struggled. Plus, if you go with Grupe, you save about $2 million on the cap. For whatever it's worth right now, I like what I've seen out of Blake Grupe. I don't know that I'm willing to incur the risk in a must-have-it season when you are going to need to win games. Otherwise, everybody is fired and everything has to start over. I don't know that I feel confident enough, Jake, to roll the dice with Grupe quite yet.
No, I don't think I would either. You look at his percentage at Notre Dame. He was in the 70s. I mean, he was good, not elite. And so when you have someone who has proven it at the NFL level like Lutz has, I probably roll with that. And this is a team that, gosh, they feel like there's going to be 3 or 4 games that come down to a field goal at the end. I mean, they really feel like a team that's going to have those swing games like we see so often in the NFL. And I would go with the proven guy. And you can stash away a practice squad situation. Kickers, it's a position where you can find a guy a lot of times. And I know New Orleans a couple of years ago went through a stretch where they couldn't find the guy when they had an injury. But now you've had a guy in preseason, and I don't think another team would claim him right now. And I would go with the proven guy. And I hate that because typically I'm like, give the young guy a chance. I don't know that he's the kicker that you take the chance on.
The chat says, Drew P in the chat says, is it true Sean Payton called DA about trading for Lutz? I don't know the truth of that rumor, but that has been an idea that's kind of been floating out there in the ether, right? Obviously, Sean Payton very high on Lutz. And that's the other key part here, right? If you can get a draft pick for Lutz and save $2 million, then does that push you into maybe taking the risk with Grupe? Again, on balance, I think it's a risk where the potential rewards do not merit taking the risk. So I would stay with Wil Lutz. That said, congratulations to Grupe, right? I mean, if you've really worked your value up this much, maybe you do get a call from one of these other teams, right? I mean, everything you do in preseason is a tryout for all 32 NFL teams. But no, here on OTB, I believe that we still think that Wil Lutz, or I don't know, do you boys feel differently?
I completely agree with you guys. I mean, Lutz needs to be better this year. He missed 4 kicks between 40 and 49 yards last year, which is inexcusable. But like you said, I just don't think it's worth the reward. Like if he struggles early on, you cut him, you don't get the draft pick for the trade. That would suck. But you got to roll with him going into the season.
Yeah, I agree.
He's 4'6", 50 plus. So I agree with Mario.
He's still a beast from 50.
You've got to be better in the range that you're talking about. And he had his lowest percentage of his career last year at 74.2%. But he was 4'6" from 50 and beyond. He had a long of 60. And so I just don't think that you're going to get that situation, otherwise. And it's somebody that's been on your team for a long time. And you have to assume that he's going to get better in that range because, look, 9 of 11, 30 of 39, 4 of 6. Like, he had a better percentage from that, and maybe it's a little bit of a yips situation just in that range, but he's still 23 of 31 a year ago. What was extra points, though? That's when he was 100%. Yeah. And that's not guaranteed anymore.
No.
So, yeah, I'm going Wil Lutz. Final answer.
There you go. Wil Lutz, Team OTB's New Orleans Saints kicker. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the 2 guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.